Hello, everybody. I see some people are coming, and my phone is going to. It's on mute, but it doesn't want to mute it all the way. Jeez. Oh well. I hope you guys can't hear that feedback. If you can, I'm just seeing people as Facebook users, not using their name, except for Brenda. I see Brenda. And that. So you'll need to tell me who you are. Um, StreamYard will bring up a thing saying they want to use your name, and it's just using your name for the comments. It's not doing it for anything else. So when you come on, if it says that, you might want to click that. Hi, Wendy. It's good to see you guys. Brenda, Edie. So how is everybody on this cold day? It's cold here. Hi, Mary Lou and Darla. Anyway, before I get started, I'm going to tell you, I know last week I had some people commenting about not seeing the video of the how-to, this part, big enough. So I figured that out, and I am, whoever said, can you see my name now? Well, I don't know, because it just says Facebook user. Unless you change it with StreamYard, it just comes up Facebook user. And you might see that in the comments. If you are in the Stamp Crazy VIP group, which is where the bulk of you guys come from, you might be able to see each other's comments there. So anyway, what do I need to say about Stampin' Up? The last chance clearance is still going on. If the items are available, you might want to get those now. The carryover list, if you haven't seen that, you might want to look at that and see if your favorite things are being carried over. And let me see, what else? If you're a demonstrator, you know you can do your pre-order now. The new catalog will go live January 5th. If you are a customer of mine that you've ordered from me, you should be getting a catalog in the mail. I don't know if nobody has told me if they've got theirs yet, so but they have been mailed. I do know that. And that is about it. I'm going to have some new things coming in January of just little things that I'm going to be doing. I'll announce that later on. I do know that Christmas is on Monday, so I will do my regular video on Tuesday, the 26th. I'm not going to miss any Tuesdays this month, or I'll be doing it on January 2nd as well, since January 1st is on a Monday. So we won't miss any videos, so we have plenty of time to talk about nothing's going to change as far as these videos, but I'm going to be doing some other stuff. So I will be telling you about that in the next week or two. I just got to get it all finalized. But right now I'm going to do a card. So I am going to, you're not going to see my face while we do this, but I am going to, does that look better? Give me a yes if you think this looks better, if the screen is better. Full size screen. And then you can maximize yours if you want to. Then you see it, if you're on your computer, to make it real big. Okay, so it does make it better. That's a good thing. Okay, so here's my card. I didn't know what to call this card. It didn't have a name. I called it the offset double front. fun fold because it opens this way. It's just got a little opening over here, this, and then, you know, you see, well, I gotta remember to scoot my chair over though, guys. So you've got this little piece in the middle that kind of separates the two. This is a brand new stamp set. It'll be coming out in the new mini catalog. If you haven't seen that new mini catalog, this is what it looks like. So I know you've got to see a lot of things out of it, probably from other demonstrators. That everybody's getting their pre-orders and doing stuff. I honestly am tired of doing Christmas cards. I made 60 something this week, and I'm just like, I'm just tired. So here's the stamp set. It's called Notes of Nature. It's this, and I like these stamp sets because I like to do this type of stamping with overlays and stuff like that. So there's that, and it has dies that go with it, which are these, and these fit this and this and this. And then these are extra leaves. Here's an extra long leaf, and this looks like notebook paper. Whoops, got to move it up. So that is what we have. Hi, Lisa. So there we go. That is that. And then they have paper, because this actually comes out with a suite with another set, but I did not get the other set. I just like this one. And the paper I'm going to be using today, it's called Sweetness of Nature Sweetness. And so I'm going to be using this paper, which the back side is this, and that is what is on my card. Then I cut out some of those extra leaves, and then I stamped here and used one of the sentiments. But the paper has a lot of gold in it. It's really pretty. My thing's all tore up already. Imagine that. But let me show it to you real quick, because it is pretty. There's the gold leaves, and then it's got Pebbled Path, and the colors on this is just Pebbled Path, Pecan Pie, and gold. And then there's gold with a grid. Of course, that's the same one. Let me see if I can pick two of them up at the same time. Here's a gold. There's gold in that on the back. This is the one I'm using, which has the gold fleck in it, and that. And this is the one you just saw with the gold. Here's a little gold grid. And these you could cut out. You could even color them or whatever. Or you could cut them into cards. That's what that is. And then this just has a script on it. And it has the pecan pie grid on the back. I think it's really pretty paper. I liked it. It was like one of my favorites when I saw them. So had to try it first. So let's move it out of the way. And then of course I used just the gold foil paper that we have in the annual catalog is what this is backed with. This is gold trim, but I think it might be retired. We got a gold thread, but I don't have any of it. I've used it all, so I forgot to order it. So that's what we've got. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to move this stuff over a little bit so I can work right here. Your PDF is over at Stamp Crazy VIP. It'll come on there at 10:30, but it's got everything I used and the directions. The directions you can see are pretty easy. I gotta remember that I gotta scoot over, guys. Scoot over. There we go. And that's my host code. I'm a hostess, not a host, I guess. But anyway, that is over. We'll be there at 10:30. It should pop up on the screen at Stamp Crazy VIP. And then we've got this, which is 5.5 by 8.25. You cut a 1/4 inch off. You score it. Now I scored it this way. I thought it was easier. 1 inch and 5.25. And then you're going to fold on those. And I always fold with that on the inside. So I've basically turned my cardstock over is what I did. And then I have my folds right here. Okay. So then I'm going to take a piece of 5 1/4 by 4, which is going to fit right here on our inside. And I'm going to stamp a leaf at the bottom of the page like I did right here. So let's stamp the leaf. And while I have this leaf out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp it on a piece of scrap paper too. So there's my leaf for that. And there's my leaf to die cut. I have things backwards over here. Remember I told you I work backwards with doing StreamYard, so it's hard to get used to. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this into the, where my glue go? I lost my glue. I'm going to go ahead and glue this into the middle, get it out of the way. So let's just lay that down. And that will hide behind there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and glue our pieces together that's going to go on the front. This is 2 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then this is 2 7/8 by 5 3/8. And I'm going to actually I'll go this way. I want my words right side up. That would be smart. So we'll just put glue here. And try not to get it on that foil paper because glue is so hard to get off of foil paper. And when you're doing such a little. But one thing about it, it does scoot. There we go. I'm going to move my camera up. I don't have enough room. Let's move it up a little bit. Oh, had to get past a hump. And then this one is 3/4 by 5 1/4, and then 7/8 by 5 3/8. And I am going to glue it this way, the opposite. Do y'all like this paper? Oh, well, Brenda says very pretty paper. I was going to ask, do you guys like this paper? Hi, Diane Short. I have not seen you in such a long time. I hope you're doing well. It's nice to see old friends. Come on. And watch me do what I love to do. Okay, now I'm going to glue these on. This will, of course, go on the short side. Or the short panel, I should say. So we're going to adhere that right here. And it just barely leaves a border of the pebbled path, but it really looks nice. We're going to glue this one, and then we're just going to be doing some die cutting and emboss our sentiment. Such an easy card. And I tell you, after making Christmas cards, I'm ready for easy. I'm like brain dead. I don't know about you guys, but it's like, oh, I'm ready to be done. But I don't think I'm done. I think I still have to make a few more Christmas cards. But I'm gonna go easy on the next ones I make. I'm gonna use my Very Cute Memories and More paper pack. There we go. So there's our front. And you can just kind of do your creases a little bit more. What we're going to do now is the first thing we will cut out some leaves. We have to cut out our two. We're using this leaf right here and this one right here. And we're going to bring in our little mini cut and emboss machine. So let's move all this over for a minute so I can pull it out. And actually, I'm going to do it this way so I can move it over here. Put my number 1 plate, my number 2 plate, and I always offset the number 2. So I'm trying to get to where I can see it. Down a little bit. It just makes on this little one to cut easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in our leaf that we stamped, line up our die, and I got a little bit of glue on my finger, so it's going to be coming off. Use the other finger. And then I'm going to lay this piece down. You'll see it in a minute, and I'm going to do one of the other leaves. I'm going to do those at the same time. My die just moved a little bit. Hope for the best. Run it through. And I'll just bring it back to me. It's just easier. Look at my table shape. Then we have this leaf. And these leaves, yesterday when I was cutting them, they just stick right here, which is fine with me because I just take my pick tool and get in under it, and it lifts right up. And that's because my plate is just, look how worn my plate is. But you know, it's okay. We can still use it. So we're going to cut one more of that leaf out. And I just have a scrap there that we can use. It's no big deal. That's why I save all these little square scraps and stuff like that. They come in handy. Which leads me to ask, how do you guys store your scraps? Just, I love the colors too, Diane. Pebble Path is like one of my favorite colors. I really, really like it. So here I go. I'm just going to put this under there and pull that off. And lose one of my dies on the floor. I've literally done that. You store them by scraps in plastic bags. I have like those iris bins, you know, the on wheels has like 6 carts or something, or 6 drawers, the drawers, and I have 2 of those, and I do mine by the color family of Stampin' Up since that's all that I use. And it stores under my table with my embossing machine, and I just have to open a drawer and pull scraps out. I tell you what, it makes it really nice. We put my table with my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine on it. We put that up on risers so that I don't have to bend over for it. Makes it really, really nice. And so those parts go right underneath, fit completely underneath. And I really like that. Okay, the last thing we're going to do before we put everything together is we're going to stamp the saying. And I use the saying, just a little note to say hello. And this just a little note to say hello is awfully crooked. There we go. I'm going to use Versamark ink. I'm going to get my little coffee filter out that I like to use. And I'm going to get white embossing powder. And let me pick my gun up. My embossing gun lays on the floor next to my table because I don't want it up on the table all the time. So I had to pick him up. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink this up. Make sure you ink it really good. Make sure it's all really shiny when you turn it over. And then I'm going to stamp on this little piece and better put it on some because I couldn't see it. Same color as my table. Okay, so I'm just going to press on that because I want that Versamark ink to really soak in. Okay, it looks good to me. I'm sure you can't see that. Can you see the ink on there? That's what I wanted. I can show you my setup. I can just walk my phone over there and say, here, look at this. And I always flick it just to make sure I have all the extra stuff off of it. And there we go. Let's pour this back in here before we get the heat gun out and heat emboss my table with embossing powder. Wouldn't be good. And I just shake my coffee filter out over my little garbage can when I'm done. And I use it and reuse it and reuse it all the time. So let's emboss. Now when I turn my embossing gun on, I do not put it to my paper right then. I kind of feel this, make sure it's gotten hot. And then I'm going to bring it in and try not to lose it. Here we go. And then I'm just going to hold it down so it starts melting. And the reason why I let it get hot first is because it doesn't take as long for it to emboss once you've done that. And that way you don't have to hold it on your paper so long. Because you can, I don't know if anybody's ever done this before, but in all the years that I've been stamping, I have done it, is scorch your paper, especially white. You can scorch your paper if you hold it too long. So, okay, now let's put this together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my leaves and I'm going to kind of hold them where I might want them. And I'm going to hide the stem to that leaf behind here. And I'm going to put the other one on just like what I think I want. I'm going to lay that down. It's in the vicinity of what I want, so I'm fine with that. And then I take a piece of tape. I'm going to hold on to these, and I'm just going to put a piece of Scotch tape. Nobody's going to see it because I'm actually going to use some dimensionals on it. And I'm going to put that over that Scotch tape onto the, make sure it's onto the leaf as well. And I want this leaf to be held up really, really well. So I'm putting 4 of them on there. Let's bring our card in that we're doing. Okay, I do want to say that all the things that say scrapbook users and stuff, I do not know who you are. what you're saying. So if you ask me a question directly, I won't be able to know. I know some of you told me who you were before, but it's still when you come in again, it won't tell me who you are. You have to let StreamYard use that for comments. Okay, here we go. We're going to sit this down just like so. And then what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to also put dimensionals on it. And I'm just going to put it on one on each side because this is already popped up. And I don't want it on that stem and pop it any higher, because then it'll look way off balance. And look, I was going to put it on upside down. That'd be not nice. So I'm just going to put this on like so. And then I know y'all don't like bows, but here's what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to do something totally different than what I did the last time you saw me make a bow. I'm going to double this. And I'm going to make sure it's long enough I have room to work. You know, I will waste a little bit, but, you know, I'd rather get my bow to work for me. So now what I'm going to do is I got that doubled. And I'm just going to leave this end like this for right now. I'm going to hold that and I'm going to make my bow like I usually do. So I'm going to make that loop, go over my thumb, make my loop. Well, you know what? I don't even have to do that. I could just bring it like you're tying your shoe underneath that with this, because this bow is not really going to matter. I don't have to be so fancy. I'm going to put it on this side now. So I want that, I'm going to pull that knot really, really tight because I want it to be small. So I pulled that really, really tight. Now I can take and just cut my tails on there, and I'm going to take a dimensional, I mean not a dimensional, a glue dot. And I'm going to roll that behind that knot and make sure it's just behind the knot and it's not sticking out anywhere. I glue on my finger. And then I think I'm going to put it on this side since I offset that. Like so. Now, I brought those little, I'm going to trim that even with my card just so it's going to be easier to get in an envelope. And there we go. So can you let it focus some? Okay, so you can see that. And just open. You know what, Gina? I intentionally sometimes hold my ribbon and make my bows upside down, and then I turn them around and use them, because I've had that problem sometimes too. This paper is beautiful paper. You can do so much with it. I mean, you can make so many different kinds of cards. Talks about flowers and that on the paper, but if you can't read all of it because you got little gold blotches all over it, but that's okay. So you can open it, you can write your message in here, just stay to the side where you don't have it coming through here. And that, but these two, well, the three things, the stamp set, the dies, and the paper, are in the new mini catalog that's coming out. I wanted you to be able to see a card out of it. And my next videos until the end of the month, each week I'm going to use a different stamp set so that you can see it. That way you can kind of tell if you like it or not, you know, maybe make a wish list out of that new catalog by what you see. You can also cut out, and I did cut it out and I didn't use it, was you could cut that leaf out of cardstock and you could really place that behind there if you wanted to offset it. But I didn't. I decided I didn't want to use it. I'm keeping it for something else. So that is an easy fun fold card. It's really cute. It's different. I like it. And it'll be something good for you guys to use. Now I'm going to say I'm going to pick a winner out of the names that I have seen posted on here, because I'll be able to still see them. And I'll pick a winner for this card because this is the one I did today. I will pick a winner for this card and send it out to someone. I love fun folds. I love this card, but I really love fun folds. And I thought this was an easy one. I do have, and I will probably maybe do this one next week. I think I've showed it to you guys. Is this fun fold? And I think we might do that next week. Might use different paper since you've seen this one. I might do a different paper and that, but I might do another fun fold. Since we've been on a fun fold kick, we've done the one with the tea light, and we did the I think I have it right here somewhere. This one. We did this one like this. We've done that. We've done quite a few this month, so that's good. So I am going to take my camera down, you guys, and I'm hoping that, let me see if I can change the orientation of it so you can see what is. Okay, now we're going. Here we go. La-di-da. Here's my setup over here. Of course, I have a bunch of junk sitting on top of it. This is all my, here's my table with my stuff, and then I have these drawers underneath of them, and I have them marked by the color families, like the Settles, the Regals, and whatever. So when I open a drawer, like here's my basic white scraps, you know, here's my new in color scraps, and I can just open a drawer. Here is my brights, and I can just open a drawer, and all the way down. And I have specialty papers in one, but I have all of the colors, and that sits right under my die cut machine, so it really makes it easier. And then there's how I store my paper. That's how my paper is stored. So, which I wish it was over there, but I can't fit everything over there, unfortunately. Unfortunately. So here we go. Okay. Whew. We got that done. You saw my, did you see my, love the card, love how you store your scraps. Thank you, Valerie. I do too. That was, I had a lot of stuff that was non-Stampin' Up in those, and I got rid of all that stuff. Or put it in different things. So I emptied those, and I thought that would be wonderful for scraps, and it's just enough room. So nice craft room. Thank you. I had a little boy come here on Monday, I think. My sister-in-law came and had her great nephew with her. He's 9. And I was helping her design her Christmas card, and we were down here in my craft room, and he walked down the steps. I'm in the basement. You come down the steps straight into my room. And he walked down here and he looked around. He goes, "Nice craft room. I wish I had one." And I'm like, "Honey, it took me a long time to get this." And I said, "Someday you will he loves to draw. I said, "Maybe someday you'll have your own." It was so sweet. So anyway, make sure you got your name in a comment somewhere. If you didn't accept StreamYard using your name on your comments. And that way I will draw for this card. Somebody will win it. I will send it out today, unless my mailman's already came, but he should have. And I'll be back next week with probably that fun fold I showed you. I'll just do something a little different on it. Did this work out better for me to be able to like change my screen up and put this bigger? I hope it did. Joyce Wilhelm, I know you're on here. Was that better? Oh, yep. Joyce said it was bigger for her. She enjoyed that much better. And yeah, I made sure I tried to figure that out, that we could do that and I could just switch back and forth. So there we go. So now I am going to say bye. I'm going to pick out that winner here in just a few minutes. I got to go back and look through all of the comments and do that. But I am um, glad we got together and glad you got to see one of the new sets. And I'm so glad I got to use it because I was really itching to make something with this. This is one of my favorites. So you guys have a great week and I will see you soon. Okay? Bye.